Once upon a time, there was a shepherd boy who lived with his father and sister. When their father passed away, he left them a small house and 3 sheep. His final wish was for them to divide the inheritance without ever quarreling. The sister chose the little house to live in, and the kind brother happily agreed, taking the 3 sheep to seek his fortune in the wide world. The shepherd said goodbye to his sister, promising to write to her often. He set out on his journey, living simply on the sheep's milk and selling their wool. For a long time, the shepherd's luck was poor. He traveled far, but fortune seemed to escape him. One day, as the shepherd felt quite sad, a strange man approached him with 3 black dogs. The man proposed an unusual trade, the shepherd's 3 plump sheep for his 3 dogs. The shepherd wondered aloud about the value of the dogs, since his sheep provided for him, while the dogs would only need feeding. The stranger smiled and explained that his dogs were no ordinary animals, they were magical. The small dog, Simsim, Sesame, could instantly conjure a feast of delicious food and drink whenever his master was hungry. The medium dog, Sab, Al-Lail, Lion of the Night, was a fierce and loyal protector who could kill any creature that threatened his master. The large dog, Kati, Cutter, was incredibly strong and could slice through iron and steel with his powerful jaws. Convinced by the magic, the shepherd happily made the trade. He immediately tested Simsim, who returned quickly with a basket overflowing with treats. The shepherd felt joy and knew that luck had finally smiled upon him, so he continued his journey with his marvelous new friends. Soon after, the shepherd saw a dark carriage pulled by black horses. Inside, a breathtakingly beautiful princess was weeping bitterly. The driver explained that a massive, terrifying monster, with the body of a serpent, 2 sharp fangs, and huge fiery wings, demanded a human sacrifice every year, and this year, the Sultan's own daughter had been chosen. Grieved by the princess's fate, the brave shepherd resolved to save her. He followed the carriage until it stopped at the foot of a mountain. The princess tearfully began her climb to meet her doom. Ignoring the driver's warnings, the shepherd followed her determinedly. Halfway up the mountain, the shepherd saw the monstrous creature preparing to attack. Crying out, he commanded, "Hurry, Sab, Al-Lail. Save the princess." The loyal dog leaped into action. After a fierce and dangerous fight, Sab, Al-Lail defeated the massive beast, killing it instantly. All that remained were the monster's 2 eyes, which the shepherd picked up and tucked into his pocket as proof. The princess awoke from her fear-induced faint, immensely relieved and thankful for her rescue. She begged the shepherd to return with her to her kingdom. But the shepherd refused, explaining that he was bound to complete his 3-year journey around the world, promising to return when it was over. The princess got back into her carriage. But as they crossed a bridge over a river, the wicked driver stopped the carriage. He threatened to throw the princess into the water unless she promised to tell her father that he, the driver, was the one who had slain the monster. Terrified, the princess agreed, but secretly vowed never to marry the deceitful man. The Sultan and the kingdom rejoiced at the princess's safe return. The driver proudly claimed to be the hero and demanded his reward, marriage to the princess. The Sultan agreed, but the clever princess managed to postpone the wedding, year after year, until the 3 years promised by the shepherd had finally passed. On the very day the wedding could no longer be postponed, the shepherd arrived with his 3 dogs. Hearing the reason for the celebration, he publicly declared that the driver was lying and that he was the real savior. No one believed the poor shepherd, and he was thrown into prison. While in prison, the shepherd first commanded Kati to cut the iron bars of his window, and he escaped. Then, feeling hungry, he called Simsim to bring him food. Simsim returned with a basket full of the Sultan's most delicious royal dishes. Finally, the shepherd sent Sab, Al-Lail to the princess. When the princess saw her true savior's loyal dog, she knew immediately that he had returned. Gathering all her courage, the princess stood before the wedding guests and the Sultan, telling the complete, true story of her rescue. The shepherd then stepped forward and produced the monstrous eyes he had kept, serving as undeniable proof. The Sultan, filled with shame and anger, ordered the treacherous driver to be banished from the kingdom. The brave shepherd married the beautiful princess, and they lived happily ever after. The shepherd never forgot his sister and sent her many wonderful gifts. In the end, one of the dogs explained to the shepherd that their duty was done. The 3 magical dogs transformed into 3 beautiful birds and flew off into the sky, leaving the shepherd and the princess to their peaceful and happy life together.